friends, can you believe it's already the middle of December? We have a week until Christmas. That's nuts. One of the things that I have deeply appreciated this past year is that we have been the church, not just on a Sunday morning, but outside of our Sunday morning routines. A couple of our churches have continued to collect for organizations. We've fed around 300 people, I think, in 2 months, really, with 2 meals happening in November, 1 meal happening just yesterday at the time of this video. We have done great things. And so, friends, one of the things that Evansport focuses on in December is volunteering. And one of the ways that they celebrate this is by having a guest speaker on a Sunday morning in December. Well, COVID happened, and instead of having a guest speaker come to the church, I went to the guest speaker. One of the things that happened 200 years ago was the first mission of the Methodist Church. Now, the first mission started in 1824. At least that's when the mission church was built. 197 years ago today, December 17th, or maybe it was December 18th. I'm not quite sure on the dates, but 197 years ago, a man named John Stewart passed away. Now, he was short in seeing the mission come to existence of what it is today. But John Stewart left a legacy that is still continuing to do work today. And so, friends, as we take time this December to volunteer, hear these words about the first mission of the Methodist Church.
Hi, my name is Pastor Betsy Bowen, and I'm honored to speak with you today. And we're talking from the Wyandotte Mission Church in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. And the story I want to tell you about is about this man who's in the picture behind me, this black man. His name is John Stewart. He came here to this area in 1816, black man carrying a white man's Bible to the red man. He came here on a call from God. He'd been working in the woods near Marietta, and he heard God's voice say, "Declare my counsel faithfully." And he heard it coming from the northwest. He immediately went to his pastor and his class leader. His pastor's name was Marcus Lindsay, and he told him what he had experienced. And eventually John Stewart began walking. He came here, just had a very few things: one extra shirt, a pair of socks, his Bible, a hymnal, all carried in a bag. And he walked here from Marietta. When he arrived here, it was still reservation land, and he presented himself to the Indian agent, whose name was William Walker Sr. William Walker was afraid he was a runaway slave, so he's about to send him on his way. But William Walker's wife was a Wyandotte. Her name was Catherine, and she said, "I think this man can help my people." So William Walker sent him to an interpreter named Jonathan Pointer, and Jonathan Pointer began to work with John Stewart. He didn't really trust him, and he always said, "These are his words, not mine. I don't care if you believe them or not. But eventually, John Stewart won him over as well. John Stewart was able to preach. And the very first time he had a group together, he had one Indian woman. Her name was Yajé. And we know that through all of the books that have been written, we have found 8 different accounts of John Stewart coming here. He spoke to Yajé and he sang for her, and he had a beautiful tenor voice. And the next time she brought a friend, and the next time there were more of them. He wasn't able to convince all of the Wyandottes of God's love for them, but he did a good share of them. We're so blessed to still have this place, this history of John Stewart coming here to the Wyandottes and bringing God's love to them. He said the Bible is for everyone. God's love is for everyone. It doesn't matter what color you are or what race you're from or from what people you're from. We're all God's people. John Stewart was here until 1823. He passed away from tuberculosis at the age of 37. The church was built the year after he passed away. It was built by Reverend James B. Finley and the group that they got together. James Finley was very good at trying to get the Wyandottes to keep their land. He started a school. He had a farm that they could make food. They could grow food to feed the people, to feed the kids. And at one time they had over 60 students here. But eventually the Wyandottes were forced to leave. In 1830, there was a law passed that all Native Americans must go west of the Mississippi. But the Wyandottes hung on as long as they could, and they were forced to leave in 1843. When they got to Kansas City, where Kansas City is today, there was nothing there for them. They lost 100 that first year to sickness. But that first year, they also built their church. And then again in the 1850s, they were separated once more, and some stayed in Kansas, and another group went to Oklahoma, led by Matthew Muddeater. And they continue there in Oklahoma today. The last chief was Chief Leaford Bearskin, and the present chief is Chief Billy Friend. And Chief Billy Friend was a pastor as well before he became the chief. So that Christianity, that love of God, that connection of God saw them through many times that they had to persevere, many times they endured suffering. But now, today, they are a strong tribe, and we are so blessed to be able to work with them and to know that this is their ancestral ground, and they now own it, and we get to care for it for them. Thank you so much for listening, and have a blessed day.
Here is some more history of the Wyandot Nation and the Mission Church. This is the Wyandot Nation flag, which accompanies the American and Christian flag in the front of the church. On this flag, you will find the turtle representing earth and creation to the Wyandots. On the back of the turtle, you'll find 12 points, which are for each tribe of the nation, as well as willow branches representing lasting life. The mission sits on 2 acres of land in the corner of a cemetery. The government never owned this land, and the Methodists returned it to the Wyandot Nation in 2019. Behind the mission, you will find a Wyandot burial ground. Here you'll also find a plaque dedicated to John Stewart, apostle to the Wyandot Indians, father of missions of the Methodist Episcopal Church. His remains are here as well. You'll also find stones that say Montague, this man, and between the logs, this man, both preachers from the Wyandot Nation. There were times when the mission didn't look so great, and in 1889, the mission was rebuilt in love by Reverend NBC Love. This picture is a dedication of the mission church as it was rebuilt. and in 1960, the Methodist General Conference designated it as a shrine. This is a new roof put on just a few years ago. And in the words of John Stewart, his final words, "Be faithful." Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed that history. Much thanks to the Mission Church and Pastor Betsy for showing myself and my sister around the Mission Church. It was an excellent day with her, and I just hope and pray that in the coming year, we recognize the necessity of mission, that we go above and beyond what we hope to do in 2021. So friends, I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and I hope you have a great Christmas week. With that, I send my blessings and hope and pray that you are well. See you soon, friends. Bye.